What is up, everybody, and welcome on in. Welcome on in to what is sure to be a fantastic show.
The Superman suit looks better than I thought in post-production music, and the score is great. Emo, I'm still nervous about the story, though, with it being Superman vs. Lex and an evil clone again.
I can't believe we have fucking talked to next on. Nobody else sent any super chats in. I'm switching off of the screen in just a second. But thank you, Mr. Penguin. And I think that's probably a fair point. We'll go over it. So, of course, like, what is that doing on? Like, turn that shit off. I don't want that on. Anyway, yeah. So, obviously, look. Listen, Linda. Listen. What a day. You know, what a day. You know, we've got the Superman trailer, the official trailer coming out tomorrow. Very excited for that. Can't wait to get up early to hate. I mean, get up early to analyze and break down without bias, as always. Tomorrow, the Superman trailer, that's going to be great. But today we got a little extra. Got a little surprise. You know what I mean? Got a nice little tease from Pookie Bear James Gunn. Okay, Pookie Bear. Christmas came early for us from Pookie Bear James Gunn. So, first off, we had a little teaser trailer where James Gunn came out in like a jacket and stuff and was talking about how human the trailer was while reading off a teleprompter. That was great. Then we got, what is it, like a 30-second little teaser trailer. The first look at the actual footage for James Gunn's Superman film. And man, I feel as though we might have a little bit of controversy on our hands. Because I'm just going to tell you right now, man, and some of y'all saw it on the Twitter. Some of y'all saw it in the Discord. I think it looks terrible. Yeah, I think it looks terrible. But we're going to break it down. We're going to talk about why. You know, I'll try to explain where I'm coming from. I'll try to listen to where you are coming from. I'm still hoping, believe it or not, that the actual official trailer tomorrow is going to be much better. Much better. Hopefully much better. And color correction. Y'all heard of color correction? Okay, we're going to get there. We're going to talk about that. But on top of that, absolutely insane thing happened yesterday for Marvel Studios. Quite possibly flying under the radar because of the Superman stuff today. Kind of weird because it seems like Gunn is giving a little bit of coverage to some Marvel stuff. Nate Moore, executive over at Marvel Studios, gone. That's pretty wild. So we got to talk about that. That was out in the Hollywood trades. I have my own opinions of this. The trades are going to put it out in kind of a nice way, make everybody look like it's all kumbaya. But we need to kind of talk about what's really going on. This kind of a situation and the way it's phrased, almost always somebody got fired here, right? So we got to break that down, talk about that. There was also an episode of Skeleton Kids last night. So we'll talk about that briefly. What a snooze fest, that fucking show, man. Oh my God. But yeah, so we've got a lot to break down, a lot to get into today. Before we get into the news and everything like that, how are you guys doing? How was your evening? Did you like the Skeleton Kids episode? How do you feel about friggin' Superman? What do you guys think, man? Like let's just be real, okay? Guys, am I crazy? Like, is this going to be one of those situations? And I'm trying to kind of figure it out because I've gauged the reaction of people on social media, right? And, you know, not everybody feels the same way that I do. I talked to Paul a little bit today. Talked to my buddy Paul in the DMs. He likes it. And I was like, yo, Paul, like, for real, are you just, like, are you capping? Like, what the hell, brother? And he was like, nah, like, I actually think it looks good. He thinks it looks like All-Star Superman. And you know what? Paul and I just agree to disagree. I've seen some other people, like 3C Films thinks it looks good. Other people think it looks good. Randomly, Daniel RPK said that it looks like a CW show. Okay, so we're Daniel RPK fans once again over here. That's crazy. Wartime makes for strange bedfellows, they say. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, I just want to know, like, what do you guys think, man? Like, seriously, am I crazy or does this look bad? Because look, we're going to go over, I'm going to try to be fair because, you know, even my initial take of what it looked like kind of changed when I saw it on the phone. And I'll explain that too because, you know, all of your cell phone screens have like OLED screens. So they crush the blacks. So the way that a normal screen works, blacks are just dead pixels, so there's no pixel of black being actually expressed. It's just a lack of color in the pixel. An OLED screen, which is in everybody's cell phone and in my TV out there, OLED TVs are nice, bro. They actually project a dark black color through the pixels. That's the big difference. And I will say it looks much better when the blacks are actually crushed like that on the cell phone screen. So I'll give a little bit of credit there, but I still don't think it looks great. And I have it's more than just a color correction to me. I legit think this is a horrible way to do a first look for Superman, but I'm open to that being a minority opinion. Okay, I've had these situations before where I'm just kind of out on a limb, and everybody feels differently about stuff. That's totally fine. I'm no stranger to that. But I do authentically think it looks horrible. I think it looks horrible. I think it's a terrible first look for Superman. So non-OLED TVs are racist. I don't know what that means. It's kind of hard for me to keep up the nomenclature these days. Like, you know what? I don't know exactly what that even means anymore. You know, I think that those words get thrown around so much that I don't know. I need a thesaurus. You know what I mean? Horrible is exaggerating, man. Come on. So we're going to do this again today. This is going to be really fun where I authentically believe something and express it with perhaps a little bit of passion, perhaps a little bit of projection because there's a microphone, right? We're here. We're performing. It's supposed to be entertaining. And everybody's going to think that I'm just hamming it up, cheesing it up, or going too far, over-exaggerating. I'm not over-exaggerating. I think it looks terrible. Okay? Let me say that again. I think it looks terrible. It looks fucking terrible. This is trash, man. What the fuck is this bullshit? But I'm still open to the actual trailer being, you know, color corrected and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Hey, you know what? I can't get a consensus. Like, we'll go to the polls in a little bit. I kind of want to leave the poll up that reminds about liking for a bit here. But I do kind of want to know. I don't see a consensus. Like, do you guys think it looks good? Yes or no? Do you think the trailer looks good? I just want to know. I can't. We'll go to the polls, but just give me a little taste in the chat. What do you think? Does it look good or not? Does it look good? Oh my God. People would literally rather just spam the word poll than tell me yes or no. Does it look good? We're off to an incredible start. It's going to be a great day. Yes, no, no, yes. Okay, one at a time. Yes, yes, no, it was okay. It looks fine. Nope. Yes, yes, yes. You know what else too? I feel like it's going to be very exciting. Okay, before we get too far into all the weeds there. Pretty mixed bag from what I can see in chat here. Okay. Before we get into the weeds, guys, couple of programming notes for you. Tonight is the last members only stream for the channel. Okay. I'm taking the rest of December off from the Wednesday streams. So if you're a member, come on by tonight, 7:30. We'll go live just for members. We're going to talk about Daredevil a little bit, but honestly, we're just going to kick it, man. do a little bit of questions and answers, you know? Ask me anything. AMA, ask me anything. I'm not saying I'll answer, but you can ask me anything. So come on by for that tonight. Now, tomorrow, the official teaser trailer for Superman comes out. Here's what we're going to do. Here's how it's going to go. The thing drops at 9 a.m. I will be seated and ready. Magnifying glass. You know, weights and scales and measures, Venn diagrams. All the tools needed to hate on this. I mean, all the tools needed to analyze this thing the right way. I will be doing a reaction. I will be doing a breakdown. That's going in a video. That's going to pop out on the main channel. Then after that, we will go live. So the stream tomorrow will not be at 11. Probably be either noon or 1. It's going to be close to one of those times. So you'll get my first reaction. You'll get my breakdown. Then in about an hour after that comes out, we'll go live. And I will have a discussion with you all about it. We'll kind of do a little breakdown thing. And, you know, the one thing that'll be different in the live stream is we will look at what other people are saying. We're going to take into account how people are reacting to the trailer. That's going to be a big part of tomorrow's stream. I'm not going to do that for the video. I'm going to shut everything out. I'm going to go into my own little world, watch, react, breakdown, video. Then we stream, and we're going to take a peek at how everybody's feeling about the thing. So that's kind of the plan for tomorrow. And then Friday should be a regular, normal-ass stream. Yeah, so it's going to be good. It's going to be fun. It's tense here, bruh. Is it tense? Chat, is it tense in here already? Do you feel tense? Is there tension in the room? Like, how do you guys feel? Do you feel that it's a tense situation? I don't think it's a tense situation. I only got like 2 or 3 death threats on Twitter. So I think that's pretty chill. You know, all things considered, I think that's kind of chill. Josh is going to hate it. I mean, look, I'm going to give it a fair shot as always. You know, that's the best I can say is I'm going to give it a fair shot. And look, authentically, man, put on the Chewie mask. Authentically, I'm just taking it as it hits me. So we'll see how it hits me tomorrow. I don't know what to expect. I mean, I'm honestly hoping that it's very different than this. By the way, too, this is kind of a pattern here. And I know, like, I know there are people that like this teaser trailer, okay? So I'm not trying to act like that's not real. But also, to me, like, if you just look at the patterns of how Gunn has done this whole thing, I think this matches up with the patterns. And what I mean is, like, the first look at Superman was fucking terrible. It's not that the suit is actually that bad. And the motion poster showed that he can actually strike a heroic pose, and it can be epic, and it can be cool. The first look was terrible because that, I don't know, it just didn't go through, like, the eyes of someone that understands promotion. It doesn't go through the eyes of somebody that understands what a first impression is. And I'm hoping that the teaser trailer is the same situation. I think it's legitimately bad. But it's possible it's just that the actual effort, the actual focus and attention was put on the main trailer. This was something maybe just cut kind of last minute to try to give like a boost and shit like that. I'm hoping that's what it is because I genuinely think it looks terrible. So tomorrow, I hope that it looks better. I hope that, I mean, we'll get a full sense of tone tomorrow established by actual performances and not just a bunch of people like literally looking up. So yeah, I'm going to go into it as open as I possibly can. And I'm still hoping that tomorrow wows me. If you've been following my coverage of this whole situation, you will know that there have been ups and downs. You know, I think a lot of people think that I'm committed to just hating everything that comes out from Gunn. That's not true. Earlier this week, I was extremely positive. I was extremely positive on Monday with the motion poster, with presenting an actual date and time for the trailer. I'm actually super fair about all of this stuff. Some things I think they're doing well. Some things I think they're doing absolutely abysmally, horribly, stupidly, terribly, whack as fuck wrong. That's just what it's going to be over here. I'm going to calls it like I sees it. So, yeah, I think for the community, it may be just as interesting to see how I actually respond to it as to how the actual trailer hits you personally. Not to toot my own horn, but I mean, I'm curious. I'm very curious about how this trailer is going to hit me. I really hope it's a lot different than what we saw today. Keanu Glover says, "You're very fair. And I know you do a lot of Marvel stuff, but you seem really fair to DC. Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. If that's how you see it, get your vision checked." That's a good joke. Very funny. Very funny. Very good joke. Nice and positive. The positivity gets a lot of big mentions, says D-Man7. You definitely don't go overboard with the negativity. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Boys, this is from a 30-second teaser trailer. Imagine tomorrow. Fair point. And I guess that's a kind of a cool place to start with. Like, the thing that's crazy about this week, and the thing that you kind of can't deny, they're making news. You know what I mean? Like, they are absolutely making news. Superman has become the topic of conversation for the entire week. And so you have to give credit where credit is due. I mean, Monday, big announcements, gets shown to the press. That, gets some articles to come out there, like the Forbes guy saying that he thinks Gunn's going to fail and stuff like that. You had a wave. And even today, like, let's be real, I think the trailer's terrible. But the idea of putting the little teaser out, I think that's actually pretty smart. I mean, it's obviously generated conversation. A lot of people will be reacting to it. It gets more attention for the actual trailer tomorrow. Which, here's another thing I'll be super fair about, like I always am. It really all just falls on tomorrow. We're going to have a lot of conversation today. It's going to be passionate. People are going to see these things differently. But at some level, we should all acknowledge it really is all just foreplay. Tomorrow's when we get to fucking. Okay? Tomorrow is where the rubber meets the road. Tomorrow will make the legitimate first impression of this Superman film and of the DCU in general. Everything that we're doing right now is kind of foreplay. So in that sense, I'm still excited to sit down, have this passionate conversation with you, disagree with some of you, agree with others among you, and then we get to do it again tomorrow. And that is cool. That is something smart, intelligent done to kind of just totally take the air out of the room. It's all about Superman. From that perspective, I think that's really good. So we'll do this. We'll do the foreplay together, and then tomorrow we get to fucking. You know what I mean? So interesting times, absolutely. What time are we live tomorrow? I mean, it kind of depends. I'm thinking around noon or maybe 1 p.m. I'm thinking between those two times. I'm thinking that's what it is. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Should we get into the news? It's a big one today. I think the biggest topic is obviously the Superman teaser trailer, the first official look at what this film's going to look like. We're going to break that down. Going to give it a ton of nuance, ton of care. I think it looks like trash, but we're going to explain why. Okay, on top of that, Marvel Studios' major creative shakeup over at the studios. Nate Moore, big-time executive producer, the guy that was in charge of a lot of the Black Panther stuff, the guy that at one time was going to maybe take over for Kevin Feige. Guess what? He's gone. He's out. Got an article in the Hollywood Trades explaining it. I want to go over that. I want to talk about the fan reaction. I want to talk about why I am actually excited that Nate Moore is gone. And I know there's all kinds of narratives and feelings and blah, blah, blah. I'm excited that Nate Moore is gone. I'm going to explain why later on in the show. I also want to carve out a little bit of time, just a little bit of time, to discuss what's going on with Spider-Man 4 and mostly Jeff Snyder. Jeff Snyder put out a really interesting newsletter last night, not only talking about Mephisto, it's real, which I've been saying for a while that that's totally real. Uh-oh, I'm going to sneeze. Hang on. But we're going to talk about that. Jeff Snyder newsletter, his whole situation with the Hollywood Trades. And I wanted to explain why I have officially decided to support Jeff via his newsletter. So I became a member of the In Snyder whatever thing last night. And I'm actually going to recommend that other people do that as well. I think Jeff is a treasure of the nerdy community, even though he is not a big nerd himself. And I think what's happening between him and the studios is actually kind of fucked up. So I wanted to give a little bit of time to that later on in the show. Okay. So let's begin by talking about this Superman teaser trailer thing. Okay, now let's get this pulled up. I do have this pulled up on YouTube rather than Twitter, which I think is the move. And what this is a teaser for the teaser. Okay, this has become a thing with pop culture over the past couple of years. It's pretty common. But ironically, even though you could say this just serves the purpose of like getting us more excited for the actual teaser trailer that's going to come out tomorrow, this is also legitimately the first look at the actual footage of the Superman movie. This is the first time audiences get to actually see what does this world look like, set design, costuming, characters. What does Superman look like? What does the movie actually look like? So ironically, even though you could say this is just a teaser for the actual trailer, it is also legitimately our first look at the film, and therefore I think kind of important. So first thing let's do, let's just run the trailer. Let's just play the 30 seconds. We'll look at it together. I'll give you my analysis. I'm looking forward to getting your analysis. Let's get this thing going, man. Let's get this thing going. Here we go. Look up. There she be, boys. All right, hang on. Wait, what the hell? Oh, we're going to get copy struck for sure. What the fuck? Got Cowboy Bebop shit playing? What the hell? Chet, this is a goddamn family show. Okay, we're going to play it again. Here we go. Here we go. Teaser trailer online tomorrow. Don't you do it. Okay, so I will have this thing kind of like playing in the background without audio here. Is there a way to loop this? That would be kind of great. Okay, first thing we got to do, I just want to see how you guys like it. So let's go to the polls. Let me get the poll set up here. How do you feel about this Superman teaser trailer teaser? Man, it would be great if we could, I'm just going to set up pods up there. And we'll go, love it, like it, meh, and hate it. Okay, so there you go. Go to the polls, man. I really want to see what you guys think about this. I mean, I'm super curious. Part of my job is not just analyzing the thing, but also analyzing how the thing impacts the fandom overall, right? So I am super curious as to how the fandom overall feels about this trailer. Now, let me just kind of take you through my first initial reaction to it and response. And I don't know exactly what I was expecting, but again, this is legitimately the first time we get to see this. And so I'm kind of looking for epicness. I want to feel heroic. I want to be like, oh, god damn, like Superman time. Like, let's go. Okay. I did not get that. Okay. So I don't get a sense of epicness from this trailer. I didn't get wowed, and it legitimately disappointed me. I think this shot and many other shots in the trailer, I don't know what's going on with the color correction. I don't know exactly why it looks so damn cheap to me, but I personally felt underwhelmed, zero epicness, and like the thing was sloppily put together. Okay? Now, I will put in immediately a sort of caveat and asterisk to that, okay? And one of the things I've noticed about this trailer is if you watch it on the phone, it looks a little bit better. Okay, when I watched it on desktop. I don't know how many people actually watched or go to Twitter on desktop. Because of what I do, I'm always here in front of these two screens. I check it out on desktop. On desktop, it looks even worse. Okay, when you go watch the thing on the phone, which I realized this because I left the room, was on Twitter, watched it again, and was like, oh, damn, it actually feels like that's a little bit better. Now, I've explained this before, but that has to do with the OLED screen. So the way this is showing up on my monitor is not quite the same way that it shows up on an OLED screen. An OLED screen is going to actually project black through the pixels. Like, that's what the OLED is. And the contrast really, really helps. So it looks legitimately better on the phone. And I do wonder how many different people watched this on the phone initially and frankly had a better first impression than I did when it comes to watching the thing on desktop. Another thing I will bring up, and Adam brought this up, Twitter compression is pretty terrible. Okay, I'm not going to lie. Twitter compression and video on Twitter looks pretty terrible. But I've also seen other trailers. Like, we've watched other trailers on Twitter, and if a trailer just looks really good, if it looks awesome, really atmospheric, if like the mise en scène is on point, it doesn't matter if you're watching it on Twitter. It doesn't matter if you're watching it like 180p. That comes across. And to me, that did not come across in this trailer. It's also a little bit surprising to me because I generally think that Gunn is really good with color. You look at the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, even the Suicide Squad movie, like they pop, they seem on point. There's like a cohesive feel of color throughout the entire thing. So to me, my first impression of the trailer was legitimately a letdown. I was like, this is crazy. So I'll take you through a couple of the shots and kind of explain why I think it's so bad. This shot right here doesn't look terrible. Like with the actual Daily Planet here, that looks cool. This shot, this is what really killed it for me. Looking at this shot right here, I was like, what the hell is going on here? I legitimately, like, costuming looks fine. Performance looks fine. I mean, they're all just subdued looking up, right? But the coloring and just the feel of the scene, it just feels off, man. It feels off and it feels cheap. Okay, so I was like, oh, really? Here's another thing I hate. And yeah, man, we're getting we're getting all into it today, baby. I hate the font. I hate the font. I hate the color of the font. And I feel like the color of this font and the style, it jars. It's not cohesive with the shots. Like, this feels orange. This feels blue. Now, that contrast can be cool in a singular shot itself, you know? Not to take you to film school again, but, like, these blues and these oranges and that contrast, you see that all over film. All kinds, all the time. You see that in the movies, and that contrast can be cool. But when it's legitimately between these vignetted shots of text and the actual footage, it creates a crazy amount of contrast that I do not like. So I thought this looks so, like, cheesy to me. This looks like, what was the thing that Rock and Kevin Hart did with the freaking Super Pets? This looks like literally the Super Pet shit. Like, that's what this text looks like to me. So I was like, oh my God, I hate it. I will also say too, this theme is epic as shit. I love this theme. When we listened to it on Monday and it was just on the motion poster, I had a boner. It was incredible, right? I shed a tear. Okay, I changed my whole life around on Monday, and many of you were there. You saw it. The theme is great. However, This thing doesn't match up with the footage we're even seeing. It doesn't even match up with the scene we're seeing. We're seeing a bunch of people fucking reacting to shocked and shit, and then you've got this epicness. It doesn't even make sense at a fundamental level. At a fundamental level. What is being shown here is like mystery and intrigue. And then the theme itself is supporting heroic epic action. It's a contradiction. And I know that might not bother some of you guys. It bothers the fuck out of me. I love the theme. It does not match up with what is being shown in the teaser trailer. Let's keep going. This stuff looks horrible. You know what this looks like? This looks like a soccer mom with like a fucking VHS clunky ass camera shooting out in the middle of the day. Like, yeah, and I mean, it makes sense if you go out and you just shoot in the middle of the day and you have actual sun and it's literally blowing out all of these different parts of it. Yeah, totally, man. That makes sense for a goddamn soccer mom. This is a $300 million budgeted film, even higher than that. Some rumors that this film is costing $360 million. Now, Gunn has denied that, but either way, this is not a cheap movie. Why does it look so fucking cheap? Get some overhead coverage here. Shoot this on a stage. Do whatever you have to do. This looks terrible. I cannot believe this is actually in the trailer. This shot too. Like, what the fuck? What the hell is this? The depth of field is the entire goddamn room? And it's just like all crisp with fluorescent lights on top. Like, who is the director of photography here? What the fuck are we doing? You could have this kind of a shot in an office building. Totally makes sense. For a movie, you strip out those lights, you dim those down, maybe do them in post, and then put actual photographic lighting in this scene. What is this? This looks terrible. Oh, shit. Blink if you miss it. Shot of Superman. Hang on now. Hang on now. Like what? Come on, man. Can we get to the Superman? Where's Superman? Wow. Okay, so we get our first look at actual Superman here. This looks a lot better than a lot of the other stuff. I gotta be honest, I don't even love how this looks on film. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, I don't even love how this looks. And yeah, you could say the colors are popping and everything like that. To me, it looks like super cheesy, super fake. I don't like how the logo or the insignia on the back of the cape, I don't like how that looks like it's just the exact same material, like it was like ironed on, like you used to get those things and make the shitty shirts where you iron shit on. It doesn't look good, man. It doesn't look good. Again, there's that text totally contrasting the vibes of the actual shots. Terrible. Another absolutely blown out, goddamn ridiculous daylight shot. More people just standing around completely blown out against this weird, horrible greenery. This actually doesn't look terrible, mostly because these guys are shaded from the blown out lights that are in the sky. And then this looks like it's a little bit overcast too. If you know anything about photography, overcast days are actually pretty nice to shoot flat because it just gives you like a total coverage of light and it doesn't blow stuff out as much as the other shots that we saw. So this is all right. There's that terrible text again. This shot looks good. This is the best shot in the entire trailer. This is the best thing in the entire trailer. Him taking off here. So let's look at these microseconds. Yeah, that looks cool. You know what I mean? That looks cool. Teaser trailer online tomorrow, man. Oh, God. Oh, man. Oh, man. I think it's so bad. Like, I legitimately think it's so bad, and I don't really understand. I guess my explanation, if I was trying to be charitable, this is perhaps footage that's not even in the actual trailer, and maybe this is some, you know, low-level editor guy or gal, or maybe this is like an intern or something, and they're just grabbing up shots, and they didn't fully understand the assignment, and then they're like, oh, but we got to get this thing ready for tomorrow. Like, maybe that's what it is, But if the actual movie looks like this, like, what the fuck? It's terrible, dude. Terrible. Like, legitimately horrible. So that's my honest to God take on the teaser trailer, man. I legitimately think it looks really bad. Now, I'm not the only voice in this conversation, though, and a lot of people actually think it looks good, right? So some people are defending the look. They legitimately think it looks cool. I totally don't understand it. But I'm willing to admit that, like, I get caught up on stuff that maybe other people don't get caught up on. I could potentially still enjoy the film, even if it really does look like this. I'm not going to lie, it will lose a couple of points for me just because it doesn't have like a sense of epicness and it doesn't feel cinematic enough. Like it just kind of feels, to me. So to be totally fair to the film, not everybody feels this way. There are other people out there that like it. I think it looks better on the phone. I think it'll potentially look better tomorrow. I also, strangely enough, did see that other people are backing up what I'm saying. You had a bunch of scoopers and insiders like Daniel RPK coming out and saying it looks like a CW show. And I totally agree. I mean, it just does not look highly produced. So that's my overall take on the trailer. So question becomes, is this an actual representation of the film? Or more like the first look at Superman, is this just kind of something thrown together? You don't realize that you're making a first impression here and it's bad. Because that first look at Superman was pretty awful. Other set photos and then the poster and stuff that happens later on looks much better. It's hard to say, right? I mean, you have that first impression. It's really bad with the suit. But then later on, we get a little bit of context and it looks much better. Ultimately, it matters most what the film looks like, right? Many people that are here right now, we are all going to see this movie. Like, so here's the thing. Even though I'm talking my shit, I'm going to see this movie day one. Day one. And I want it to be good. I know that's crazy. Some of you guys don't believe it. I would absolutely accept and take a victory lap if James Gunn got fired and had to go work at Best Buy or something. Like, yeah, for sure. I'm going to cheer that on because I don't like that fucking guy. But I love Superman. I love DC. I want DC and James Gunn and Superman to succeed. Because if they succeed, I can then cover DC. You know how long I've been waiting for this? I've been trying to cover DC seriously for a long, long time. The last time I could cover DC and get any traction whatsoever was when Cavill came back for Black Adam, which was cool. We had a couple videos pop like over 100K. It was great. But for the most part, dude, DC is a dead, rejected brand. As we talked about yesterday and as they laid out in that fantastic Forbes article, DC has been going through it for like 10 years straight. It's terrible what's happened over there, okay? So I do want this thing to succeed. The point I'm trying to make is that a lot of us that are here right now, they already have our money. We will be there. The only determining factor between us and the rest of the market is going to be, number one, word of mouth. How do we feel about the movie? Do we like it enough to become ambassadors for the film? You know, when I saw Deadpool and Wolverine, which, by the way, I don't even think Deadpool and Wolverine is like a great movie, but it's a fucking fun movie. I had such a good time at Deadpool and Wolverine. I was telling people about it. I drove all the way down to Pittsburgh just so I could watch that movie with my best friend. I was an ambassador for the movie. As passionate fans, that's what happens. If we really like the movie, we become ambassadors for the film. So if the movie's lit, we're going to go tell people about it. Grandmas, moms, uncles. I remember in the early years of Star Wars, I would go see the movies. They all were coming out around the holiday season, right? And then I would tell my family when I'd go to home for Christmas, we got to go to the movies. And then you're talking about a whole ass family going to the movie to go see the new Star Wars movie. Why? Because Josh really wanted us to, and other people were kind of down with it. That's like the proof positive version of word of mouth. That's what Superman needs. As they discussed in the Forbes article yesterday, there's a lot of stuff working against this movie. What I am trying to figure out, and I think, tomorrow will be a really telling aspect of this, is this thing going to reach the normies, the uncles, the aunts, the grandmas, the grandpas, the wives, the husbands, the people that aren't in it, and how do they feel about it? I'm pretty curious. I wish we could go poll some normies right now. I'm leaning towards them seeing this trailer and basically just going on with their day. This is just the teaser for the teaser, but I legitimately think that's what's going on, where it's like, what is how is this supposed to get a normie excited, especially a normie that's kind of already written off DC and written off Superman for a long, long time? I'm just not sure that there's anything here that's going to do that. We can hope that that'll happen tomorrow. But I think first impressions matter. And like, if this thing makes waves today, which I think it will, it's probably trending. It's probably being shared around. How is this thing hitting the normies, bro? Like, that's kind of really important to the overall success of this thing. My gut tells me not really good. I'm hoping tomorrow has some fire, has something that's actually going to get people pretty excited, that could hit the normies and make them basically say, you know what, I will check that out. That's the most important thing. Okay? So I can give kudos to the fact that just from a strictly scheduling perspective, DC and Gunn has been successful this week of grabbing up all the attention. That's key. That's a big part of it. And so we give credit where credit is due. Yes, via Monday, the press thing, the tease for the trailer today, they have completely sucked the air out of the room. No Diddy. And they have the attention. Good for them. Success. Very nice. What does it translate to tomorrow? Tomorrow is the most important part. I'm not really satisfied with this first look. I don't like it. Doesn't get me excited. And I don't think it's going to excite the normies. But we still have a chance for tomorrow. That's my take. That's the breakdown. And now I'm going to open it up to questions. I need to know. I need to know. I need to know. Tell me live stream chat because I need to know. How do you all feel about this thing? Let's first look at the polls. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so you have 28% of people say they love it. 29% of people say they like it. 37% of people say meh. That's leading the polls right now. And then you have 6% of people saying they hate it. Now, that's obviously not scientific, but also, wrap it up. It's Jover. This poll basically spells disaster for the DCU. Somebody show this to James Gunn and snap a photo as tears stream down his weirdo face. Now, next up, let's get into the questions, comments, concerns. I'm going to go through the super chats here, too. We'll get into the chat as well. A lot to discuss here. Javier Mendez, first in with a diamond. Appreciate you, Rossi. Thank you for the rose. Mr. Penguin, we already went over what you said because it was at the very start. Appreciate you. Prez, thank you for a gifted membership. Benjamin says, boobas. I mean, I like boobas. The trailer probably could have used a few more. Randon Loomer says, Josh is the best Ray Skywalker. Thanks, brother. Brandon says, remember from the town hall when you vowed to be fair and less toxic with media. Hashtag Superman. I did vow. Did I? I did vow. I made a vow to you guys that I was going to be less toxic, and I was going to be a little bit more professional with my criticisms. And guess what? That's what happened today. That's what today is, believe it or not. Rossi says, yes, dude, we're talking colors and particles today. You know me. I'm a big fan of colors. I'm a big fan of particles. Rossi follows up and says, to be fair, the first thing I noticed was the oversaturation of the color in the Superman trailer. I don't know that I would say it's oversaturated. I would just say that the saturation doesn't feel even, But, yeah, we'll see. Maybe it looks better tomorrow. Mr. Penguin says Superman Returns is underrated. That's true. I like that one. Rod A says, are we going to discuss Black Panther 3 and Spidey news? Yes, sir. We will discuss that later on in the show. Verse says with a 5 spot, happy morning, Josh. Haven't seen the teaser. Can we watch it together on stream? Yeah, we just did, man. Appreciate you. Thanks for popping in. Perez says, tomorrow is where we get to fucking Josh 2024. Amen, dude. It's a new year. It's a new me. Hugh says, wipe your face, Josh tonight. Oh, okay, buddy. Okay. Ferreira, thank you for coming back to the Nerd Vengers. Appreciate you. Crazy 8 says Superman looks like a new medicine commercial. Little bit, dude. What are the reactions, right? What are the negative side effects of this trailer? Let me know in the chat. Overbound says with the 5, it says the text is like an updated version of the OG intro, which is a big deal at the time. And the music is pink. Okay, so it seems like Overbound's kind of positive on it. That's cool. Verse says the teaser suggests that Gunn and Warner Brothers are still overcompensating for the complaints that Zack's movies were too dark. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of interesting. We'll see. Let's see here. Overbound says, to me, it almost looks like they are trying to do Technicolor look. Reds are popping so hard, but it looks a bit odd without a film grain. Yeah, I mean, I think it looks pretty bad. I don't know. I mean, maybe that's part of it, right? Maybe they're trying to get the reds to pop and do all that sort of stuff. I just think it plainly looks bad. Like, I think it's just really poor color correction overall. Griff says, sup, Josh? Nothing amazing in the teaser. Hopefully, the trailer will wow the normies and bring fans back to DC. Nerd Ventures for life. Yeah, I mean, that's the mission. We'll see if they can pull it off. Verse says, I'm getting Superman Returns vibes. Oh, that's interesting. Does anybody else agree with that in chat? Superman Returns vibes? I don't know about that. Verse says, of course, the theme slaps. Gunn is borrowing the original 1978 John Williams theme. Borrowed catchphrase, borrowed theme, nostalgia trap. There could be some truth to what you're saying. However, I don't even care about that. Like, if it worked, I would tip my hat. And I'd be like, yeah, nostalgia, strong play. Good move, right? I've talked about this before, but like, I don't understand why Star Wars doesn't just use more John Williams. Like, what is the music in Skeleton Kids? Like that, it's stupid. Use Star Wars music. Like if you have John Williams that turned in maybe some of the greatest music ever for themes and friggin' the sound design of a whole universe. And then we're going to just turn our back on that like 20 years later because I don't know why. So I don't necessarily care if it's a nostalgia trap. I want it to work. I want it to feel good, right? And this teaser does not feel good. Van Off the Black with a 10 spot. Appreciate the love, brother. Says the font is Donner 1978, but we're not in the 78 anymore, brother. The shots emulate modern realism commercials for normies. I see the attempt for modern normies mise en scène. I get it. So I'm buying tickets for day one of The Crew. Well, I mean, like I said, they already got my money. I'm going to be there day one. The question is, who else will be there? How many of the normies will be there? Or will they be watching the new Jurassic movie and saving their money for the Fantastic Four? That's the question, right? Delta Dan, thank you for gifting a member. Let me check out the chat. Let me see what you guys are saying in the actual chat. I'm sure it's all just super positive and agreeable comments, but I'll take a peek either way. What the fuck was that teaser, says Dave from The Bend. Yeah, I mean, I really didn't like it, man. I thought it was pretty bad. Wow, YouTube chat is toxic, unlike the beautiful people here on Twitch. Oh, really? Is that what you think? Is that what you think, Nerd Executive? This is true, Josh. The music in Skeleton Crew is not my fave. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Why do a teaser before the trailer? Warming up before warming up. I understand this. I mean, to me, this isn't an issue. I actually think it's a good move. It's just the way the tension works these days, man. Like, you get the teaser for the teaser. It's generating conversation. I mean, we're here. We're talking about it. So from that perspective, I actually give points. You might not like it, and that's fine. Like, personal opinion is personal opinion. It's all good. You know, everything's welcome here. I mean, I'd prefer if everybody just agreed with me lockstep and we had a bunch of sycophants. But such is life. You know, everybody's can't understand the glory of my brilliant takes all the time. That's fine. But I just got to say, I don't know that I'm going to dock them points for doing, number one, what everybody else is doing. And number two, what I think actually does work, right? Deadpool and Wolverine did the exact thing and no one complained then. Well, that's not true. First of all, there were people that complained. I think what you're saying, though, is the complaint was not the narrative. And that's true. But you have to ask yourself, why is that, Adam? Why is that? Why was the narrative about the Daredevil trailer, or rather the Deadpool and Wolverine, I always do this. I always fucking do this, mix these two names up. Why was that narrative so different? Despite it maybe having some of the same issues, right? I don't know what the exact answer is, but I can think of a couple of different reasons. I mean, number one, the goodwill of Marvel, which, to be fair, has been a little on the rocks over the past couple of years. I think number two, the general excitement for what the trailer actually offered up. Teasing Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, kind of edging us for the Hugh Jackman Wolverine, that's a smart move. That's good. That gives us something to be excited about. I think the context for Superman is almost completely different than the context around Deadpool and Wolverine. Okay? The context around Deadpool and Wolverine was a little bit like, can they actually pull this off and not like totally Disneyfy this? Number two, Hugh Jackman coming back wearing the yellow. It looks great in the photos because remember, they teased it very early and they teased it properly instead of like having him pull up his pantyhose while the fight was going on outside and he's Superman, right? So there's just a lot of like better moves made from that whole team. Ryan Reynolds, as far as marketing, like genius, James Gunn, dumb, short bus riding motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like that's just another opinion. I think the narrative was more about the hype and excitement and the possibilities. And the narrative around Superman is just not that. For a number of reasons. But it is interesting to bring up that they did have similar issues, and yet the narrative was not the same. So I think that's fair. I would just offer that there's possible explanations for that. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Kaylin J says, I hear the trailer tomorrow is all new footage. That would be smart. If that is indeed what happens, I will give them points for that as well. Kaylin J, again, with a 10 spot, says, the teaser didn't feel epic enough like Force Awakens. Dude, agreed. The Superman shots look great, but I think some of the color grading issues are still being worked on. Yeah, 100%. We're going to see. I mean, maybe the trailer tomorrow just completely and totally blows us away. This is a bad first impression. This puts a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I legitimately feel that way, man. Like, and I know, like, a lot of your perception of this is going to be, Josh, you're just a hater. You don't like Gunn. And while all of that is true, I actually would like to believe that I've shown, not just talk the talk, but walked the walk, that I have been able to be as unbiased as possible, give flowers where flowers are due. I had people in here on Monday being like, dude, you have flipped on this. Now all of a sudden you're a Gunn fan, and I hate it. That's how I know that I'm actually doing a good job. Because it indicates that I'm not being tribal about this at all. I'm trying to just give my opinion and give my analysis of every individual thing that happens. And it is fair. I also didn't spoil the shit, even though chat was begging me. I told you guys for 2 years straight, I'm going to be super fair about this shit when it happens. One of the first people that had a full description of what the actual trailer is, I didn't get out there and try to ruin anybody's fun. I didn't get out there and try to get clicks and views and clout off of the leaked version of the trailer. I mean, a little bit I did. But I didn't, like, give away the farm. And I did that because I wanted to be fair to the process of the movie. It just happens to be the case that I don't like this trailer. I think it's bad. And I'm therefore worried about the movie. That's what it is. But I'm just one guy. You know what I mean? I'm just one guy giving my analysis. And of course, I want to hear what you guys think about it. What's your feelings on it? Would love to know. We finally got character growth from Josh. Yeah, and everybody just denies it, Justin. You know what I mean? Holy. Vandolph says, Soups in Boots was bad. Gunn falls far from Feige. Yeah, no, that shit was terrible. But that's what I mean. It's like, I think you just look at the patterns, you know? You know what the best indicator of future behavior is? Past behavior. So you look at the Gunn's behavior, you look at that absolutely terrible first impression of him pulling the pantyhose up, and then you look at this trailer and it kind of makes sense. You're like, okay, yeah. Not enough thought, not enough quality control being given to first impressions. Got it. Like, that's what it is. At least they can fix the color grading. I think that's totally true, Vince. They can fix the color grading. You know what they can't fix? The first impression that this movie made. You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to pick on Vince here, but like I've seen this attitude expressed a lot, right? The cope in the comments, the cope on Twitter is like, they have time to fix it. It's not a representation of the actual trailer. The movie's so far away, they can fix what I obviously agree is bad. Otherwise, I wouldn't be saying what I'm saying right now. Guys, that's cope. While that is true, it doesn't change the fact that the first impression, the first look at the actual footage of the movie was a big letdown to a lot of people. That's it. That's what it is, period. Josh, I can't believe you're disappointed or worried because you haven't shown anything but desire for the DCU to win. I know, Andre. I know. Thank you. Other people don't get it, but I'm glad you do, Andre. The first impression didn't make me say, take my money. Right? Right? Is that so hard to admit? Is that so hard to admit? Now, again, context. Context. This is all just foreplay. And maybe the foreplay is bad. Maybe when we get to it, it'll rock our world. We're going to find out tomorrow. Easy on my fellow Vince. Yeah, I got you, brother. I got you. I got you. All right. We'll stick on this for just a couple of more minutes because I do think it's a big deal. And then we're going to move into the Marvel shakeup news, which I also think is a big deal. Verse says, with a 5 spot, Gunn made a name on Guardians and has repeated the same themes since. I think his Superman will be the same. Death, abuse, trauma with okay jokes. Well, I mean, look, I tend to agree. Some of what he has said in interviews that came out just this week have given me a little bit of hope that that's not the case. You know, he talked about how there's not really a soundtrack to the movie. It has themes. Love that. He talked about how it's not necessarily going to be as funny as a lot of his other movies. There's humor in it, but it's not a focus on humor. Love that. I'm hoping that those are signals that he took his sensibilities and just held them back just a little bit, because that's not what a Superman movie needs. Totally makes sense for Creature Commandos. Frankly, it would have made sense for The Authority. It might even make sense for Clayface. Still kind of can't believe that's a thing. But even that is potentially a better fit for Gunn and his sensibilities. This, man, I'm kind of worried about it. Vince Potter subscribed with Prime for 4 months over on the Twitch. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hey, Josh, can you find the teaser trailer for Man of Steel? Let's watch that and compare the two. I mean, look, I'm about that, but we already know. I mean, we already know. Also, did Man of Steel do a teaser for their teaser? Because that's maybe a little bit unfair. Maybe what we can do is we can watch the actual trailer tomorrow. You know, the Superman trailer from James Gunn, which is hopefully way better than this. And then maybe we compare that to the Man of Steel teaser trailer. That's a little bit more fair. I don't think there was like a 30-second tease for the trailer for Man of Steel, right? It's kind of unfair, man. Let's at least give Gunn shit a fair shot in a comparison, right? But I appreciate the thought. We'll do that tomorrow. Put it on the list. Put it on the list, ladies and gentlemen. James Gunn usually cooks on his Superman movies besides Suicide Squad. Yeah, I mean, Gunn is a very competent filmmaker. I've said this a lot. I mean, he's really good at making movies. I just don't think he's good at running a studio, being a co-CEO, promoting, handling talent, handling a fan base. You know, his current job. Marcus says, yo, Josh, are we getting a Christmas-themed Diamond Lounge or a member stream? Yeah, so tonight, we are going to have a member stream, and it's going to be more casual. We'll kick it. Friday of next week we will have a Christmas-themed Diamond Lounge. However, that's going to be on the Discord. We can't have the Diamond Lounges on YouTube anymore. Kind of sucks. But it is what it is. So we'll have it next week. It'll be on Discord. I'm looking forward to seeing. One of the things that's kind of cool about doing those streams on Discord is like you guys can share in images and videos. I want to see the coolest presents you got. I want to see what you're sipping on. I want to see your Christmas tree, all that sort of stuff. So it's going to be cool. Vandolph the Black says, remember, 1978 had a pimp, a sexual assault scene, and jokes, and it rocked the world. That's Guns' modus operandi. Normies loved it. I know. I was there. And perhaps he will strike lightning tomorrow. Perhaps what goes on tomorrow will completely change my opinion. Will be super cool. We'll have those things done in a way that makes sense for the film, feels right, and gets attention. I'm open to that possibility. But what I'm talking about right now is the 30 seconds, the first official look at what the movie will look like. And I'm super let down. Brandon says, we need another Christmas cookie review. Oh, yeah? Did you guys like that one? I mean, look, I like eating Christmas cookies. So, yeah, maybe we could do that. Maybe do that on the Diamond Lounge or something like that. That was kind of a fun stream. We'll figure it out. Remember, did Josh try a snickerdoodle last year? Yeah, I think so. Pretty sure. Let's play Marvel Rivals. I mean, we're going to play some Marvel Rivals. I didn't get to play last night, but I'm excited to get back on there. 20 million players playing Marvel Rivals. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that absolutely insane? Okay. I think that's good on the Superman talk, at least for now. I think we can shift into the Marvel news, okay? So, earth-shattering, not shattering, earth-shattering news yesterday for Marvel Studios. This came out via Deadline. Marvel exec Nate Moore leaving studio as he transitions into producing. This sounds a little bit like when Amy Pascal was transitioned into producing and left the studio after all the Sony emails leaked. You guys remember? All right, here we go. Let's go over this. Justin Kroll reporting for Deadline. Marvel exec Nate Moore leaving studio as he transitions into producing. Exclusive. Longtime executive Nate Moore will depart Marvel Studios and transition to producing outside of Marvel in 2025. Nate has a fantastic executive and collage as well as, what the hell is it? Colleague? Oh, okay. Nate is a fantastic executive and colleague, as well as a wonderful friend to all of us here at Marvel Studios. Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige, and Luis D'Esposito said, wow, that's crazy. They made a joint statement. That's kind of interesting. We'll talk about that. He has been a core member of our team since 2010, and his influence will continue to reverberate in our storytelling. Although we'll miss him, it's a great deal, and we look forward to watching what he does next, while also having the good fortune of working with him in a new way on our next Black Panther movie. Moore will stay on at Marvel Studios through mid-March and the release of Captain America Brave New World, which he is currently producing, and he fucked up, which is probably why he got fired. Oh, that's not in the article. Sorry. The film bows on February 14th. Sources add that he will also produce Black Panther 3 for Marvel Studios. Interesting that is noted in the actual joint statement by Luis D'Esposito and Feige as well. That's kind of interesting. Nearly everything I know about producing, I've learned from my time at Marvel Studios, Moore says. I feel lucky to have worked with a group of people who love filmmaking and storytelling as much as my Marvel colleagues and the cast and crew of our films. But I couldn't be more excited to apply my experience and passion for films towards theatrical movies in all genres, including returning to the world of Wakanda for Black Panther 3. Boo! I mean, we'll talk about it. Moore has been an executive in development and production at Marvel Studios since 2010. He is best known for shepherding and producing 2018's Black Panther, which grossed more than $1.3 billion worldwide, picked up 7 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture, and went on to win 3 Academy Awards. Moore also served as a producer for Marvel Studios' 2021 Eternals and 2022's Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. He was executive producer for Marvel Studios for Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney+. Prior to that, he worked on Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Captain America: Civil War, and helped develop the script for Guardians of the Galaxy in the Marvel's Writer Program. Before Marvel, Nate was one of the founding employees at Princeton Media. Okay. So, you've got a kumbaya kind of, statement here out in the Hollywood trades about the departure of Nate Moore from Marvel Studios. Now, I want to talk about a couple of different things here. A couple of different things with this. Number one, this would see the loss of, I think, the 4th major executive at Marvel Studio within the last couple of years. I think the other really big high-profile one is Victoria Alonso, but there have been other executives that have, been shown the door as well. We have heard, and I think Jeff Snyder was one of the people to actually report on this, that the major executives at Marvel Studios had kind of been butting heads and beefing for years. For years. I tend to believe a lot of this stuff happened in the wake of Infinity War and Endgame, and as the studio was trying to set up the next 5 to 10 years, and of course, the introduction of Disney Plus, the introduction of Marvel Disney Plus content. And I think just, kind of objectively as a fan, you can look at what happened in Phase 4, and it seems like a studio that just simply got too big for their britches. And how can you really blame them? I mean, coming out of that year with Endgame, breaking all the records. You made a Captain Marvel movie go for $1 billion. You had Black Panther getting Oscars. You got Infinity War, you got Endgame. How could you not? They felt like they were on top of the fucking world. Felt like they were invincible. And I think that comes with ego. When you look at what happened post Endgame at Marvel Studios, sure, there's some issues with the pandemic and delays. There's some issues with Sony taking back the Spider-Man license, etc. But let's just call it what it is. There's obviously executive problems, particularly when you realize that the structure of Marvel Studios gives an inordinate amount of power to executives. So one of the things that we found out over the last couple of years is that the shows didn't have showrunners, and instead they had lead writers. And then the executives ran the show like a showrunner. Oftentimes the lead writer would be literally gone and moved on to a different project by the time the thing was even shooting. So the little tweaks of writing, the big tweaks as you're looking at dailies and you're trying to craft it into being as good as it possibly could be, that was all coming from executives. This is why, Slater walks off of Secret Invasion, right? That's why you have big-time problems with Nia DaCosta literally leaving the Marvels, et cetera, et cetera. Brother, the system was broken. And on top of that, it's just curious that people like Victoria Alonso, who literally came out and was like, I don't know that we should call them the X-Men. Seems a little problematic. What about X-People? Or somebody like Nate Moore, who's famous for saying, we don't like to hire passionate comic book fans as writers. It's just kind of curious that, those people are now out. From the perspective of the fan base, a lot of people had questions about Nate Moore. I mean, Nate Moore had said some whack shit about Wakanda, about T'Challa, about hiring comic book writers. I mean, Nate Moore was not a fan favorite executive. And a lot of people blame him for the decisions made about T'Challa, not recasting T'Challa, making the second Black Panther film essentially a girls' night out. And I mean, just look at what's actually in this article here. He produced Eternals, Wakanda Forever, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Dude, Falcon and the Winter Soldier is terrible. It's terrible. There are some good things in it, but overall, it's terrible. But I think the real kicker for Nate Moore is Captain America. You know, Victoria Alonso, her big kicker, Quantum Mania. And the reports around that time of the Victoria Alonso thing was like, that actually came above. That came from Iger or somebody above Kevin Feige. But in the trades, they said, Feige did not stand in the way of this decision. So normally, like, the executive above is going to go to the president. He's going to go to Kevin, and he's going to say what's going on. And then maybe the president, it's kind of up to the president to be like, I'm actually going to go to bat for my guy or my gal. I don't think we should take this action, and here's why. They came to Kevin and said, we're going to fire Victoria Alonso. He said, thank God. I'm speculating. He didn't actually say that. That's not being reported, but he literally said that. No word on that here with Nate Moore, and it seems a lot more kumbaya, but let's be real. I'm pretty sure Kevin's like, let's go. And that has to do with Captain America. I mean, Brave New World, when it's all said and done, I wouldn't be surprised if it costs upwards of $400 million. It has had 4+ rounds of reshoots. It has had like 6 or 7 different internal screenings. And they're still shooting this piece of shit, as Harrison Ford would say. So I think the fact that Captain America has been an absolute goddamn disaster behind the scenes has cost the studio hundreds of millions of extra dollars, has put the studio in a quite precarious situation because of the delays. I think that's the nail in the coffin. I think this is just another sign that, like, the other shoe is dropping. You know, we heard Bob Iger, especially last year, get on his soapbox and talk a lot about accountability. That doesn't seem to exist for Star Wars. I mean, they finally canceled one of their terrible-ass shows. That seems like a start. But let's be real. What the fuck is Kathleen Kennedy still doing running that company? Talk about accountability. It doesn't exist for Lucasfilm. But, yet again, another sign that it is different over at Marvel Studios. So Nate Moore, he gone. And we don't even know if Brave New World will bomb. I, for one, am excited about this news. You know, it's never good when somebody loses their livelihood. I think he's going to be fine, though. I think he's set for life. I think he will continue to produce stuff. Oh, by the way, I talked to some people behind the scenes. It seems like the producing of Black Panther 3, that's like in name only. I think they're kind of trying to save face with some of the comments made and make it seem like, oh, hey, man, we're not going to, like, fire our only black, like, huge executive producer. He's still going to be working on Wakanda stuff. Like, we're not, like, that out of touch. I think they're worried about the optics of that. But from what I hear and what I understand, I mean, it's going to be producing in name only. I almost guarantee that the Russos have kind of taken over production and post for Captain America. And potentially even for stuff moving on forward. I mean, Coogler's still going to be involved. A lot of people are going to be involved. I don't really think Nate Moore is going to be involved. So there you go. There you have it. Would love to know your thoughts, comments, questions, and concerns about this in the chat. I'll open it up to the chat. Comics Things is saying, Josh, Zaslav just sold his stock in the company. Is that true? Wow. He sold 30 million, though. I don't know how much that is. So if we want to be super fair about this and not put any spin on it and just try to, you know, do what is right, we could say, it looks like David Zaslav took one look at the Superman footage and he's selling Warner Brothers stock. In fact, seems like a good tweet. Me when I spread misinformation on the internet. Boom. Make sure you go like that tweet. go get a second account, like it again. Okay, thoughts, comments, questions, concerns about Nate Moore. What do you guys think? Anyone holding back better Marvel stuff can be gone? I absolutely agree, man. I absolutely agree. Nate gonna be retired as a Disney legend like Victoria Alonso? I mean, it's possible. When you get to a certain place, like even when you get fired, you get accolades. Accolades. And maybe acolytes too. Damn, when you said Namors, I thought you were saying Namor. I kept looking for more Namor in the MCU. Okay, great. My second account is the one sending you feet pics. Okay, great. KK and Pascal should team up. They do team up, actually. They do team up. My dumbass thought Josh was talking about Namor at first, too. Oh, my God. Really? Come on, guys. Major creative overhaul. Y'all don't know about Namor? Y'all don't know about Namor? If no T'Challa bench Black Panther 3. Oh, well, that's another thing is, like, technically this article confirms that Black Panther 3 will be a thing. That's not really news. We knew that shit. What's the Black Panther 3 scoop? Well, it's just that Nate Moore is gone. He's still going to be a producer on it. It's still happening. Oh, my God. You guys all thought I was talking about Namor? And this is the same crowd that's trying to tell me I'm wrong about the trailer? I mean, come on, guys. You're not really doing yourself any favors. We need a win with Marvel stat. If you agree, put a 1 into the chat. Yeah, I mean, I would like a win. Wins are good. You said Namor like half a dozen times. No, I didn't. Daniel Ha. But I got some of your hot sauce over. It's pretty good. I'm glad some of the Nerd Vengers are buying your hot sauce too. That's cool, man. Denzel is going to be in it. Yeah. Denzel and Black Panther 3. That seems pretty lit, huh? Seems pretty lit. Color grading on Superman teaser looks like booty cheeks. You're not wrong. You're a win. Oh, thanks, brother. That's nice. Marvel Rivals is a win? Dude, you're not wrong. Marvel Rivals is so big. It's great for the Marvel brand, dude. You know, like having a really popular game that people enjoy with the Marvel IP. I mean, that obviously doesn't hurt Marvel. It helps them, right? DC can't get shit figured out. I mean, they haven't had good games since like the Arkham games. They've got that Suicide Squad game that bombed terribly. Are you hyped for the Jeff mode coming to Marvel Rivals? No. Josh, I'm asking if there's any details about Black Panther 3 other than Denzel and Nate. No, nothing yet. I think it's pretty far out in production. Yeah, seems like there's not too much to say about Nate Moore. Maybe a little bit inside baseball. But for some of us in the community, I think we get it, man. I think we understand. We're probably better off with this guy gone, you know? I think Brad Winderbaum is pretty good, although he got some heat for hiring Bo. I like Brad. I think Brad's good. You know what else is kind of funny, too? I'm speculating here. You know what? No, I shouldn't even say that. The more logical side of my brain just told me, don't say that live. If you are coming to the Diamond Lounge, remember to ask me about Bo DeMeo and Nate Moore, and I'll tell you something pretty hilarious. But we shouldn't say it live and publicly. So, been saying that he needed to go. A lot of us have been saying that, yeah. Can we get something without agendas? Nah, man. If you don't have an agenda, then guess what? You had an agenda to not have an agenda. Did I just blow your mind? Rossi says, Josh, don't remember nothing about no Atten. Oh, yeah, let's talk about Skeleton Kids. Let's talk about Skeleton Kids. Check out Bo's tweets about his name. Oh, I've seen the tweets, but I think he was actually singing a different tune a couple of months ago about Nate. Again, we can't talk about that publicly. No, Diamond. That's a Diamond conversation. Okay, let's talk about Skeleton Kids. The teaser trailer was more dog than crypto. Oh, shit. Okay, so this was what, the third week of Skeleton Kids? Technically the fourth episode. And I don't know about you guys, man, but like, I got back from the gym right around 9. Busy day. I've been having some busy days. Got back. And, I asked Elisa, I said, oh, well, do you want to watch that Dune thing? Because we didn't watch it on Saturday, right? And, then I remembered, I was like, oh, yeah, Skeleton Kids is out too. And she was kind of like, and I was like, don't worry, we don't even have to watch it. And I really felt like just not watching it. I mean, I've told you guys how I feel about the show. The Amblin vibe is not Star Wars to me. I don't like the kid actors. Jude Law's cool. The opening scene of the first episode was lit. But by and large, it doesn't really feel like Star Wars. It doesn't scratch my Star Wars itch. It's fine. The third episode, to me, was the best one. That was kind of cool. There's some good stuff there. This episode, we get kind of like villain of the week. We're on a different planet and we're lost. Kind of side mission, Rebels, Star Wars Rebels style. You learn more of the mystery about how there were other versions of Atten, some kind of like program or plan. You learn of this conflict on this planet. Jude Law saves the day a little bit. You get some of the mystery of this machine, the droid, and what he actually knows about Atten. Okay? A lot of this stuff, fine, decent. The mystery is cool enough to kind of like keep me watching, but ultimately, man, this is really doing nothing for me. Like, this is really doing nothing for me. And, I know some of you guys hate it when I bring this up, when I talk about social proof. But according to Luminant, it has missed the top 10 streaming charts for the second week in a row. It'll probably miss it again. Basically, nobody's watching this show. And so I don't feel like a big desire to watch it when it first comes out. So then I have conversations with people about it. Like, who cares? Ultimately. So, I mean, look, it does nothing for me. Nothing. It's completely take it or leave it. Nothing exciting. It doesn't scratch my Star Wars itch at all. It is just a vague reminder that this was once a franchise that I absolutely loved and that I was obsessed with. And it's now become something I can't even watch with my wife. I have to watch on my own because she's so over it, she can't sit through this shit. So, I don't know. Maybe that's a win. Isn't that crazy that Star Wars is so bad that we look back to the discourse surrounding The Acolyte and then we look at what's going on with Skeleton Crew, and by comparison, this level of apathy and whateverness is literally better. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Star Wars Skeleton Kids. Is this shit over yet? Like, that should be the tagline. Star Wars Skeleton Kids. Is this shit over yet? Like, that's a brilliant. Like, cut that commercial. That's good. That's my take on the Skeleton Kids. Yeah, I think it's pretty bad. I'm tired of being able to come up with a story in 5 minutes if a full team at Lucasfilm Star Wars is cooked too, or is too cooked. Yeah, I mean, almost anybody can come up with a better story. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm trying to think, was there something else? I almost feel like there was something else we wanted to talk about, but I feel like I'm missing it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here's a little bit of juice for you. Let's talk. Can we talk just a little bit? Let's talk about Jeff Snyder a little bit. So, I mean, number one, I want to talk about Jeff's scoop about Mephisto in Spider-Man 4, which, by the way, not to toot my own horn, but I've been talking about Mephisto being in Spider-Man 4. Just the other week, like Alex Perez was tweeting about something, and then I said, yeah, and I heard Mephisto's in the movie. I put out a video yesterday about Ghost Rider being in the movie. I said in the video yesterday, Mephisto's in the movie. Okay? So, last night, Jeff Snyder puts out a big scoop that Mephisto is in Spider-Man 4, and it's supposed to be Sacha Baron Cohen. Now, that, of course, lines up with old rumors about Sacha Baron Cohen being Mephisto. He was supposed to appear in the Ironheart show, but was also supposed to be in a lot of other stuff, okay? Now, Jeff says that one of his sources said Sacha Baron Cohen cannot be Mephisto because Sacha is shooting a secret movie for Universal and he won't be able to shoot for Spider-Man 4. Jeff said, I don't know about that. I think Feige has big plans for Mephisto, so I think it's going to be Sacha. I think they'll work it out. And Jeff speculated that he could even see Sacha Baron Cohen's Mephisto being the main villain of Spider-Man 4. Now, that's speculation. I don't think that's what's happening. Also, by the way, Jeff said he didn't know if Ghost Rider was going to be in there. He used a really interesting phrase where he said, maybe with italics, he's going to be played by Keanu. Maybe. That's just wishful thinking. Which, even though he didn't mention, that's something I was talking about, I appreciated that because it's something I've been talking about. It's out there in the news. By the way, I feel very strongly that it's Ghost Rider and it's Keanu. I know yesterday Daniel had a scoop that he thinks Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider is going to be in a movie soon. And that's probably true, but I would say that's probably going to be Secret Wars. Could it be Spider-Man 4? Sure. But I still very much think it's going to be Keanu. Part of this is because I had some conversations with My Time to Shine about this. She also thinks it's going to be Keanu. She also thinks it's Ghost Rider and Ghost Rider's in Spider-Man 4. And of course, a lot of sort of smoke signals sent up by Alex Perez and others, Cryptic HD, Daniel, that Ghost Rider is a thing. And that Ghost Rider is going to be in Spider-Man 4. By the way, the rumors for Spider-Man 4 are so goddamn ridiculous that, like, it's very difficult to try to imagine how all of this works together. So, we're doing a big old video about just that, how it all could fit together. It's going to take me a little bit of time to put that out. Probably look at that probably on Friday. But we'll go like into a lot of detail about the different leaks, how they could all fit together. That's going to be really fun. But it is a lot. Like, it is a lot. It's a lot. So, not really sure how all of that's going to work, right? But the other thing that Jeff talked about in his newsletter, and I just wanted to give a little bit of a spotlight to this, is Jeff is really out on his own now, and he's not really taking meetings with Marvel Studios anymore. He described a story in his newsletter last night where Marvel Studios and somebody from PR set up a meeting with him. Jeff asked about certain stories, and then this person at Marvel said, oh, actually, this other journalist, who apparently Jeff has major beef with, she's already on that story, so we're not going to confirm anything for you. So, according to Jeff, like, what was happening, right, is that he has these stories, he has these sources. He goes to the studio because he wants to play nice. He doesn't want to get something wrong. He doesn't want to put out misinformation, so he goes to the studio. The studio turns around and says, oh, yeah, all that info that you have, we've already given that to somebody else. They're going to run the story. You get nothing, Jeff Snyder. You get nothing. And so Jeff has said, like, fuck that. I'm not going to take a meeting with them anymore. I don't give a shit. I'm out on my own, and I'm just going to break stories. So last night, I officially signed up for Jeff's newsletter. And I'm going to recommend that you guys do the same. I think it's worth supporting Jeff. Jeff has given us really great news over the past couple of years. I'm excited to see what he does now that he's completely out on his own and he's not worrying about the studios at all. And I know it's probably a little bit scary and whatnot. So I seriously recommend it. Go support Jeff's newsletter. And I think he's going to be dropping a lot of juicy scoops. You know, a lot of juicy scoops. Might be a little less accurate than it was before because he's not going to get access to the studio to confirm or deny or give no comment. But I also think, like, dude, Jeff's just as good of a scooper or a researcher or a reporter as anybody else that's working at the trades. So I think we're going to get even more info in the next couple of years. So I don't know if, hopefully I did a good job of sort of summarizing the situation. I wanted to bring it up because Jeff's great. We talk about his scoops all the time here. So I'm supporting him over there. I think you should too. But also, this news about Mephisto is pretty fucking wild, dude. Mephisto in Spider-Man 4? How could that work? Insane. So I'll open it up for questions, comments, concerns, guys. Like, what do you think? Like, what do you make of the Mephisto stuff? Do you like Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto? Do you like Mephisto in Spider-Man 4? What do you think they are cooking with Tom Holland Spider-Man 4? Because this shit sounds nuts. By the way, Ghost Rider, even though Jeff could not confirm that, Ghost Rider and Mephisto are pretty connected. You know what I mean? Yeah, one more day, totally. So, it could be really, really interesting with what they're cooking up there. Leon says, can we rewatch the trailer? I just got on break now. No. But hopefully you can rewind it, or when the replay goes up, you can watch it. Instead of Jover, it's just starting. Okay. Doom is going to take Parker to Mephisto place and get his hot aunt back. Yo. I mean, maybe. That's definitely possible. That could be cool. Stop jam-packing multiversal stories into a Spider-Man film, for the love of God. Well, I hope you're sitting down. But I think Spider-Man 4 will have to deal with the multiverse and the cosmos. Yeah. So, maybe the next one will be a little bit more grounded. I can see Mephisto being Spider-Man's only other option for making a deal to fix his identity situation. Yeah, that's possible. So I was thinking that, you know what else I was thinking? I was like, well, wait a minute. What's up with Noel? Right? Because Noel, the symbiote god, and Mephisto, like, maybe they could be beefing. Like, what if Doctor Doom sets up a new reality and he makes Noel the actual devil, not Mephisto? And Mephisto's kind of like out of a job and he's like fucking pissed about it. And then he, with Ghost Rider, tries to recruit Spider-Man to shut that shit down so that then Mephisto can regain control of hell. Enter Noel. I know, right? So, yeah, there's a lot of possibilities here. I mean, the amount of rumors that are out there for Spider-Man 4 are crazy. And it is seemingly really difficult to try to make sense of all of them working together in a cohesive story. Like, what, how? Now, having said that, the idea of, like, Venom, Ghost Rider, Noel, Mephisto, possibly Spider-Man in the symbiote suit, and maybe Toby and Andrew? I mean, dude, that feels like Secret Wars, like before Secret Wars. Like, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. So does this mean Mephisto won't be an Ironheart, or is his first appearance still in that? Hard to say. You could see him still being in it. Maybe he's just mentioned. Not really sure. Not really sure. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of excited, man. I think Spider-Man 4 is going to be lit. I also like Destin doing this. Destin with Mephisto? Come on, man. Destin with possibly Ghost Rider and Spider-Man? Oh, the visuals. The visuals, baby. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. All right, everybody. Well, hey, let's get into a little bit of just general Q&A, and then we're going to wrap the stream up. A little bit of a shorter one today, but I got a lot of shit I got to get into. And we will be live for members tonight at 7:30. So make sure you are there if you are a member. So what's up? What's on your mind? Josh, between DC and Marvel, who would delay the film so they're not going head to head? I don't think either of them are going to delay it, but if someone does, it's going to be DC. So, Marvel Studios wrapped Fantastic Four early. That movie's ahead of schedule. That movie is going to be the first appearance of Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. And that movie is coming out close to San Diego Comic-Con. So just like Deadpool and Wolverine was sort of bolstered by San Diego Comic-Con, they did a press, well, I guess it was a fan screening of the movie Thursday evening in Hall H. I assume they're going to do the same thing with Fantastic Four. So I say all of that to say, they're not moving that movie, dude. They are not moving the Fantastic Four. Superman could move. Gunn did put it on, I think, his dad's birthday, and his dad passed, which is, obviously sad. So I don't know. It's like hard to imagine Gunn moving it as well because he put it on his dad's birthday. But he also said, he claims that he didn't even do that on purpose. So if it's not intentional, maybe he could move the movie. I mean, they should move Superman. Like, that would be the smart thing. But, yeah, we'll see. Do you think RDJ will use an accent for Doctor Doom? I think so, yeah. I think so. Can't do the stream tonight because I'm going to see Christmas lights. Oh, that's fun. You're going to drive around the neighborhood or whatever? How's that work? Seems cool. Seems lit. Does anyone else feel like Josh says once a week it's going to be a shorter stream? I got to get my hair cut. I have no idea what you're talking about, but also it's going to be a shorter stream because I got to go get my hair cut. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the hair's not going to cut itself. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we got to do that. I saw Chapter Master Valrak in here earlier, but I didn't get to see what he said. What did he say? Warhammer! What time is the Superman roast tomorrow? You mean the unbiased, completely professional breakdown of the Superman trailer? Well, the trailer comes out at 9. I'm going to try to have that video out within the hour, maybe an hour and a half. And then we'll watch it probably on... I'd say around noon or 1 tomorrow we'll be live. Yeah. Den of Follicle. Nice. Can't wait for the 180 tomorrow when you like the trailer. Adam, will that not be really entertaining though? Like if I really like it, a lot of people, by the way, some people will be mad. If I like the trailer, there's going to be a lot of people in chat that are like, I can't fucking believe this guy, man. Flip-flopping. Doing a 180 on Gun, etc., etc. If I like it, I like it. You know what I mean? If I like it, I like it. That's how it's going to go. Watch Transformers 1 on Prime or Paramount Plus. I'll try to get to it over the holidays. We'll see. I know a lot of people like the movie, so... That comment you made on Soup's X post made me laugh real hard. Yeah, it was pretty good. Also, what the hell is X? Are you getting a bust fade cut? I don't know what that is, but it sounds exciting. Should I get a bust fade cut? That sounds cool. You get your hair cut often, it seems, Josh. Every 2 to 3 weeks. Every 2 to 3 weeks. Say it with your chest. Is that how you do that? What if Josh got a low taper fade? I get that as well, just for my balls. Do you think Thor and Hulk are going to be rebooted in the next saga? I do, yeah. Oh, Lordy, I'm about to bust. His hair doesn't change, though. What? Come on, man. You blind? If you like it, you like Penguin, too. What? What did you think of the Karate Kids Legends trailer? Seeing Chan that old hit me. Yeah, it looked fun. It looked like a fun trailer. Where's Johnny, though? Where the fuck is Ben? Like, where's Johnny? Sure says the best Josh reaction of the year was when you found out RDJ was Doctor Doom. It was pretty good. Yeah, it was a pretty fun stream. Deadass Josh's hair always looks the same. And you guys are telling me I don't know what I'm looking at with this trailer and the color correction and all that? And you're telling me that I don't know what I'm looking at? Please. Favorite anime? Probably Samurai Champloo, but I mean, I don't know. It's been a while since I've watched Champloo. I like that one quite a bit. Full Metal Alchemist, Evangelion, Akira, Trigun, Cowboy Bebop, Dragon Ball, Baki. Some of my new favorites, I really like Mob Psycho 100, One Punch Man, Dan to Dan's pretty good. Yeah, there's some good shit out there. Leon says 21 months, so 3 more till I make it to 2 years, baby. Let's go. Haven't been in the streams recently because of work, but I'm here in spirit. I appreciate you, Leon. I appreciate it, man. 2 years in the community. Hot damn. Brandon says, what would it take from Star Wars for you to be 100% completely done with the whole brand? Seems like it's headed that way. If Mando and Grogu feels like a cheap cash grab and lacks heart and soul, that'll be a major blow. If Ahsoka Season 2 is as sloppy as Season 1, that would be a major blow. I think if both of those things happen and an actual Rey movie goes into production, that might be it. Might be time to call it. So. Do you guys think Josh rants to his barber about James Gunn? No, but my barber's a great dude, man. My barber is legit. I'm actually excited every time I go in there. It's cool to talk to him. He usually has good advice about stuff. He's a good guy. Marvel Rivals tonight, Josh? Well, tonight we're going to do a members stream. And we'll kick it for a while. Maybe we'll get on some Marvel Rivals during that stream. I'm not really sure. But I feel like I owe you guys one big last members stream before we call it for the year. Josh, do you think Rio will play a part in Movings? I'm not sure what that means, but yeah, I think Death and Aubrey Plaza, I don't think they're done with Marvel. So I don't know. Maybe that answers your question. Appreciate you, brother. Baby news yet? Could be any day, anytime soon. The car is in the shop right now, and I told Elisa, I said, you just have to not go into labor until we get the car back. So as soon as we get the car back, maybe she'll go into labor. We'll see. A stream so big, you'll need more socks. Exactly. And on that note, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for being here. Exciting times. Superman teaser trailer. Nate Moore gone from Marvel Studios. Jeff Snyder out on his own. Go support Jeff in his newsletter. Mephisto in Spider-Man 4. What? Crazy times. Crazy times. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you later tonight. Tomorrow, stream probably around noon, maybe 1. Check out the Discord if you want to find out exactly when. Check out the Twitter if you want to know exactly when. And we will give our first reaction, and I will shit all over. I mean, I will break down the James Gunn full Superman trailer tomorrow. I'm excited. I hope you're excited too. We'll see you guys tomorrow. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day. And I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Leave. You know, I took a peek at social media as I was waiting for the post-credit scene here. A lot of people starting to turn on that teaser because it's terrible. So, yeah, we'll see. You know, tomorrow, very big deal. Very big deal. We'll see how it hits us. I appreciate you guys, though. I know some of you guys get so mad because I'm heightened, you know? But I appreciate, genuinely, I appreciate that you're still here. You're still showing up. You give me a little shit. It's all good. We're going to find out tomorrow, I think. Appreciate you. All right, everybody. Make sure you open up your third eye and wash out your stinky Superman hole. All right. It looks like shit.